Hello guys, welcome to AI Code Lab. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chris, and in this video we are going to build AI multi-agent system for financial research. So we're going to have 3 agents that will work together to accomplish one goal. Okay, let me explain how the agent works. Firstly, the user will input the stock name, for example, Nvidia or Tesla or Amazon. Then the first agent, Qualitative Analyst, is going to search the news. It is going to be able to call external tools like Tavily for web search. Then after that, the second agent, Quantitative Analyst, is going to fetch the financial metrics using yfinance. Then the third agent is Portfolio Manager. It is going to be able to synthesize the data and provide you with recommendations whether to buy, sell, or hold the stock based on market insights. For the large language model, we are going to use Mistral AI, but if you want to use different model, it is totally up to you. Okay, let's get started. For the IDE, I'm going to use Google Colab, but if you want to use VS Code or Jupyter Notebook, it is totally up to you. Okay, let's get started, guys. Firstly, we are going to import several Python libraries. We are going to import typing tools to add metadata and type hints to function inputs and outputs. From typing, import annotated, comma lists, and also dictionary. Next, we are going to import Tavily. So for performing web search, we are going to use Tavily. From Tavily, import Tavily client. Next, we are going to import AutoGen framework to create and manage AI agents. Next, we are going to import helper to allow agents to call external tools or functions. From AutoGen, import register functions. And lastly, we are going to import yfinance. We are going to use this library for fetching real-time financial market data. Okay, before compiling the code, we need to install several Python packages. In this case, we need to install Tavily, AutoGen, Mistral AI, and also yfinance. Okay, let's do it. Let's compile the code. It will take few seconds, maybe 5 or 10 seconds, so just wait. Okay, we have successfully installed Tavily, AutoGen, Mistral AI, and yfinance. Okay, now let's compile this code. And let's add another block of code. Okay, now we are going to get the API key from Mistral AI and also Tavily. So let's open Mistral AI. If you have not created an account, make sure that you create one. And if you already have your account, just click Try Studio. And you will be redirected to this page. And just click on API keys. And just click Create New Key. And you will need to name your API key. You can also set the expiration date and just click Create New Key. In this case, I already have my own key. So this is my key. Please do not use my API key, guys, because I will deactivate this key once I upload this video. So please use your own API key, guys. Okay, let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it Mistral API key. And let's copy and paste this API key and put it right here. Next, we are going to get the API key from Tavily. So we're going to use this tool for performing web search. Create your account, guys. But in this case, I already have my account, so I'm just going to log in, and here is my dashboard, and here is my API key. So I'm going to create another variable. I'm going to name it Tavily API key. And I'm going to copy and paste this key and put it here. Again, do not use my API key, guys. Please use your own key. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to define configurations for the language model used by the agents. I'm going to name the list config list. Okay, firstly, we are going to specify the large language model that will be used for reasoning and responses. For the model, we are going to use Mistral large latest. If I'm not mistaken, this is the latest model from Mistral AI. Actually, you can open the Mistral AI documentation page and you can copy and paste this model name. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to set the API key. Let's copy and paste this variable, Mistral API key, and put it here. Next, we are going to specify the provider type to ensure compatibility with AutoGen. So we're going to set API type to Mistral. And let's add comma. Okay, now we are going to set the large language model configurations with low temperature for more deterministic outputs. LLM config, and let's create a brace. We are going to set the config list to config list. So let's copy and paste this and put it here. Next, we are going to set the temperature to 0.1. And feel free to modify this number, guys. Okay, now we are going to initialize Tavily client to perform real-time search queries. Okay, now let's go to Tavily website and let's click on API Playground, and this is the code documentations that you can use. Okay, let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it Tavily. You can name it whatever you want. It is totally up to you. And we're going to copy and paste this line. And we are going to replace this with the actual API key. So you can copy and paste Tavily API key and put it inside the parentheses. Okay, now we are going to create a functions that agents can call with annotated input. I'm going to name the functions web search. So we're going to enable the first agent to perform web search. Okay, this function is going to have one parameter, and that's going to be the search query. We're going to use the annotated library, so you can copy and paste this and put it inside the parentheses. And inside the bracket, we're going to specify the data type. It is going to be string. And let's add the search query for live market data. And we're going to specify the data type. It is going to be string. Okay, now we are going to print log to show when the agent triggers the search tool. Print /end executions searching Tavily for, and we're going to display the query. So you can copy and paste this and put it here. /n. So we're going to start in a new line. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to perform a deep search query using Tavily API. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it response. And let's go to Tavily website. And we can use this code documentation. So let's copy and paste this. And let's go back to Google Colab. Let's type in Tavily.search. We're going to set query to query. So that's the function parameter. And we're going to set the search depth to advanced. Okay, now we are going to format and return search result as readable text. So this is very important. So make sure that you pay very close attention to this part. Returned /end dot joint, and let's create a parenthesis, and inside this parenthesis let's create a bracket f source. So we're going to display the source, and let's put URL inside this bracket. We're going to display the URL /and content, and obviously we're also going to display the content. And let's create a for loop for or int response. And let's put result inside the bracket. And make sure you close the parenthesis. Okay guys, we are done with these functions. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to create another functions to fetch the stock financial data. And in this case, we're going to use yfinance. I'm going to name the functions get stock data. And this function is going to have one parameter, and that's going to be ticker. And we're going to use the same concept, so you can copy and paste this annotated. So that's the library that we are going to use. And we're going to specify the data type. It is going to be string, obviously. And let's add stock ticker like Tesla, for example. So we're expecting the user to enter the stock name, maybe Tesla or Nvidia or Google or whatever stocks that the user wants to research. And we're going to specify the data type. It is going to be string, str. Okay, now we are going to print log to indicate tool execution. Actually, you can copy and paste this line because it is going to be very similar. We're just going to replace searching Tavily with fetching stock data. And we're going to replace query with ticker. That's it. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to initialize yfinance ticker object for the given stock. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it stock, and we are going to call this library yfinance yf.ticker, and we're going to pass down the parameter. So let's copy and paste ticker and put it inside the parentheses. Next, we are going to retrieve stock information's dictionary. So let's create another variable. I'm going to name it info, stock.info. Okay, now we are going to extract price to earning ratio. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it PE. info.get, and inside the parentheses, let's put trailing PE, comma, and /A. So in this case, we want to retrieve the PE ratio. Next, we are going to extract debt to equity ratio. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it debt to equity. And we're going to do the same thing, info.get. And inside the parentheses, let's put debt to equity. Make sure it is uppercase, comma, and A. Next, we are going to extract revenue growth matrix. Let's create another variable. I'm going to name it revenue growth. And it is going to be the same, guys. Let's add info.get. And inside the parentheses, let's put revenue growth. Make sure it is uppercase, comma, and A. And lastly, we are going to extract the profit margin. This is very important matrix. Inside the parentheses, let's put profit margins. Make sure it is uppercase, comma, and A. Actually, this is supposed to be info.get, not info_get. So make sure that you fix that. Okay, now we are going to return the formatted financial matrix as a string. So the data type is going to be string for all of this. Return F. Okay, firstly, we are going to return the ticker. Let's copy and paste this variable ticker and put it here. Next, we are going to return the price to earning ratio. Let's copy and paste PE and put it here. Next, we are going to return debt to equity ratio. Let's copy and paste this variable debt to equity and put it here. Then after that, we're going to return revenue growth. Let's copy and paste this and put it here. And lastly, we are going to return the profit margin. Let's copy and paste this and put it here. And let's close the string. Okay guys, we are done with this function. Okay, now we are going to define the AI agent. We are going to use admin to execute tools, and we are also going to ensure the next speaker is strictly the one who called the tool. Okay, let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it user proxy. And in this case, we're going to use AutoGen. So that's the AI agent framework that we're going to use. You can copy and paste this. AutoGen.user proxy agent. And we are going to set the name to admin. Make sure it is uppercase. And let's add comma. Next, we are going to disable human input so the system runs fully autonomous. So we're going to set human input mode to never. Make sure all uppercase. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to limit the number of automated interactions to prevent infinite loops. So we're going to set the maximum consecutive auto reply to 5. Feel free to modify the number. You can increase this, you can also decrease this. It is totally up to you. Next, we are going to disable code executions for security and simplicity. So we're going to set code executions config to false. And let's add comma. Okay, now we are going to create the first AI agent. The name of the agent is Qualitative Analyst. So this agent is going to be responsible for analyzing market sentiment and also performing web search. AutoGen dot assistant agent. Okay, now we're going to set the name of the agent. You can name it whatever you want, it is totally up to you. In this case, I'm going to name it Qual Analyst. Next, we are going to provide large language model configurations for reasoning. LLM config, and I'm going to set this to large language model config. So you can copy and paste this and put it here. Remember guys, we are using Mistral AI. Next, we are going to define the role and behavior of this agent. System message. Okay, now let's write the system prompt. Qualitative Analyst. Search news and sentiment using web search. So that's the name of the functions that we created previously. If you remember, we created these functions so we enable the AI agents to use Tavily if it needs to perform web search. So we're calling that functions. Next, we're going to ask AI to summarize the finding briefly. Okay, we are done with this agent. Now we are going to create the second agent. And the second agent is going to be Quantitative Analyst. So this AI agent is going to be responsible for finding and analyzing financial market data. Quant Analyst. And we're going to use the same thing, AutoGen.assistant agent. So actually you can copy and paste this guys because the structure is going to be very similar. But we're going to modify this a little bit. The name is going to be Quant Analyst. So make sure that you fix that. And we're going to use the exact same large language model configuration. So we're not going to change this. And we're going to modify the prompt message. Quantitative Analyst use get stock data to fetch real financial metrics. For example, price to earning ratio, debt to equity ratio, etc. Analyze briefly. So we are enabling the AI agent to call these functions, get stock data, and it will use yfinance to extract the financial metrics. Before we continue, there are two things that we need to fix. So we forget to add comma here. We also need to add comma here. So make sure that you fix that. Okay, now we are going to create the third agent. The name of the third agent is Portfolio Manager. So this agent is responsible for making decisions, whether to buy, hold, or sell. Okay, now we're going to copy and paste this AutoGen.assistant agent because the format is going to be very similar. We're going to replace the name with Portfolio Manager. You can name it whatever you want, it is totally up to you. And we're going to use the same large language model configuration, so we're not going to change this. Next, we're going to modify the system prompt. Portfolio Manager. Synthesize reports. And give a buy, sell, or hold recommendations. Okay, now we are going to register the external tools. So the AI agent will be able to call those tools if the AI agent needs them. Okay, let's scroll up a little bit and we're going to use this library, register functions. So this is part of AutoGen. So let's copy and paste that and put it here. Okay, now we are going to register web search functions as a callable tool. So let's scroll up and let's copy and paste these functions, web search, and let's put it inside the parentheses, comma. Okay, now we are going to specify that only the qualitative analyst can invoke this tool. So we're going to set the caller to qual analyst. So basically, we are giving access for this agent to call web search. Okay, now we are going to specify that admin agent executes the function call. So we're going to set the executor to user proxy. Next, we are going to define the name used by the agent to call this tool. The name is going to be web search. So you can copy and paste this and put it here. So make sure the name is exactly the same like what you have here in your prompt. Otherwise, this agent will not be able to call this tool. Okay, now we are going to provide descriptions so the large language model knows when to use it. So let's add descriptions. Searches the web for real-time financial news. Okay, now we are going to register another external tool. We are going to use register functions, so you can copy and paste this. And another external tool that we want to register is get stock data. So this is the functions that will enable the AI agent to call yfinance. So let's copy and paste that and put it inside the parentheses. Next, we are going to specify that only the quantitative analyst agent that can invoke this tool. So we're going to set the caller to quant analyst. So you can copy and paste this and put it here. So basically we are giving access for this agent, quant analyst, to call the yfinance functions. Next, we are going to specify that the admin agent executes the functions call. So we're going to set executor to user proxy. So it is going to be the same. You can copy and paste this line. Next, we are going to define the name used by the agent to call this tool. And the name is going to be get stock data. It has to be exactly the same like this. So let's copy and paste this and put it here. Next, we are going to provide descriptions for large language model. Descriptions fetches real-time stock financial metrics using yfinance. Okay, now we are going to design the multi-agent system. So these three agents will be interacting with each other and they will be working together to accomplish the goal. Okay, let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it group chat. And we're going to use AutoGen dot group chat. Okay, now we are going to define all agents that will be participating in the conversations. So let's create a list. I'm going to name it agents. So we're going to have user proxy. So you can copy and paste user proxy and put it inside the bracket. So that's the first one. That's the admin. Next, we're also going to have Qualitative Analyst. Let's copy and paste that and put it here. We are also going to have Quantitative Analyst. And lastly, Portfolio Manager. So let's copy and paste that and put it inside the bracket. Let's add comma. Okay, now we are going to initialize an empty conversation history. So we're going to create an empty bracket like this. Next, we are going to set the limit for conversation rounds to avoid infinite loops. So we're going to set the max round to 5. But feel free to modify this number, guys. You can increase this, you can also decrease this. It is totally up to you. Okay, now we are going to force the agents to speak in order to maintain valid message flow. So we're going to set speaker selection method to round robin. And lastly, we are going to prevent the same agent from speaking twice in a row. So we're going to set a low repeat speaker to false. Okay, now we are going to attach the group chat configurations. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it manager. And we're going to use AutoGen dot group chat manager. Make sure all uppercase. And we're going to set group chat to group chats. So let's copy and paste this. But to be consistent, I'm going to remove the underscores. Let's copy and paste this and put it here. Next, we are going to use the same large language model configurations for coordinations. So we're going to set LLM config to LLM config. Let's scroll up and let's copy and paste this large language model config and put it here inside the parentheses. Okay, now we are going to ensure these blocks runs only when the script is executed directly. If named is equals main, then we're going to ask user to input stock ticker dynamically. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it ticker, and to get user input, we're going to use input functions. enter stock ticker. So in this case, the user will be able to enter any stock they want to research, for example, Tesla or Nike or Amazon. Okay, now we're going to start the conversations managed by Group Chat Manager. So let's add user proxy. Remember guys, user proxy is the admin agent. Dot initiate chat. And let's add manager, comma, and let's also add the message. Analyze ticker. Let's copy and paste this and put it here. So this is whatever ticker entered by the user. It can be any stocks, Google, Netflix, or Uber, or whatever stocks for an aggressive growth profile. Okay, now we're going to define the steps. So step 1, Qual Analyst search news. So that's the first agent. And step 2, Quant Analyst calculates ratios. So that's the second agent. And step 3, portfolio manager gives the final trade recommendations. Actually, there is one more thing that we need to do. We need to close the string. Okay, now we are going to compile the code. So let's click this, compile. Okay, now we are going to enter the stock ticker. For this example, we are going to use Netflix. So let's copy and paste this NFLX. And let's put it here. And let's hit enter. Okay, now the AI agent is running. It will take a few seconds, maybe 20 or 30 seconds. So just wait guys. So the first agent is Qualitative Analyst. Now it is going to analyze the market sentiment. Then the second agent is Quantitative Analyst. It is going to extract the financial metrics using yfinance. And the third agent is Portfolio Manager. It is going to provide you recommendations based on the market insights. Well, it didn't take too long. It only took 43 seconds for this AI multi-agent system to run. Okay, here is the result, guys. Very detailed and very comprehensive. Look at this. Okay, let me scroll down all the way to the bottom. Look at this, guys. Very cool, right? And here is the key news and sentiment summary. If you are interested in this kind of project, consider to enroll in my school community. The name is AI Code Lab. You will find many high quality projects inside this community. Okay guys, I think that's it. That's all you need to know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.